Hey, welcome to the Quacking Pancakes Christmas Special on the Quacking Pancakes Podcast. I'm Kory Hoang.
And I'm Evan Mullvain. We just wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone who's watching during such a festive time of year.
We hope you and your families are doing well and enjoying each other's company. Evan and I got our hot cocoa ready and our eggnog on standby, which neither of us ever had before. But go ahead and pour yourself a cup and join us by the fireplace.
It's our best episode yet, and you're not going to want to miss it. So without further ado,
let's get into it. So again, we just wanted to thank everyone for watching this and for all the support these last few months. Something Evan and I haven't covered in a while, but are excited to get back to, is delivering our weekly news updates on the episodes.
Yes, for sure.
We saw Spider-Man No Way Home this past weekend in theaters. And I've already given a spoiler and spoiler-free review, but let's go ahead and, discuss our initial thoughts and impressions of the film anyway, since we haven't had a chance to sit down and talk about it.
It's kind of funny. It was last minute that we decided to do it because you had already seen it the day before. And
yeah.
I wasn't even planning on seeing it in theaters. I was just going to wait until it came out. But Kory, he convinced me. You found some way to convince me. And
I was telling him that it's one of those things you had to watch in theaters. I personally am not a big moviegoer. I don't know about you, but there are those certain select films that the ambiance and the surround sound is just so important. I think this was one of them. Also because, these Marvel films are also always heavily involved with spoilers and such, and I didn't think this was one of those films you wanted to have spoiled to you, and then you're just like, well, I didn't really care anyways. I think it was nice for you to be on top of it, especially only 3 days in,
Yeah, it's a good movie. Kory and I have kind of already talked about it a little bit, but I'm not the biggest Marvel superhero fan. I mean, I enjoy the movies. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was Endgame, so that just goes to show how infrequently I go watch those movies. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it without spoiling anything. I feel like if I talked about it anymore, I'd definitely spoil it. So it's a good movie.
I'd say it's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie besides 2, 2004. That's my personal that one has a lot of sentimental meaning to me, I'm sure to you as well, but for a variety of reasons that I also don't want to spoil, but ultimately, this is the first time we got to see Spider-Man as a kid over the course of a franchise. I don't think it's ever been done before, because Tobey was like a grown man, Andrew's kind of he's in that college phase. But I think the way that this film ends, and everyone can expect because they're planning another trilogy, is that he's going to be getting into that Sam Raimi film type territory where he's an adult with real adult problems, and hopefully we'll get to see his maturation process there as well.
Yeah, hopefully. And these next movies are still going to have Tom Holland in it?
Well, he said he doesn't know. I've heard some things like he wants to start a family, or he also just doesn't, because I think he's 25 or 26 right now, pretty close to us in age, and in the same way that, Tobey was kind of grown, Andrew was kind of grown, I don't think he really wants to continue playing a character for 10 plus years, and then maybe that's all he's ever known for.
That's true. In the previews, we saw him in the Uncharted movies, and he still just kind of looks like Spider-Man to me. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, so I'm sure he wants to break off of that as well. Kind of like how I would assume Leo doesn't want to be associated with Titanic. People probably still, I for the longest time I still associated Leo with Titanic until I think I saw Inception, and I thought that was a pretty good Leo film, but. Yeah.
Love Inception. Great movie. I think something else that we wanted to talk about, more personal news, was our fantasy league is wrapping up. We are in the final stages of fantasy football, and you have been eliminated.
Yeah, I mean that hasn't been news, but I mean everyone's known this for a while, I'm sure, but I'm not really in the playoffs. I'm not sure of what I'm really playing for at this point, because I'm really either going to be in 7th or 8th place, and then who knows if we're going to keep the same league with the same people next year, and how the draft process will work in terms of those. But I think I just really got unlucky this year, because the first 3 weeks or so, I got destroyed by 100 points, and I was still putting up pretty decent points. I would have beaten anybody else. But
even the last couple of weeks, you destroyed the people you were playing against.
Yeah. I just We play PPR, if anyone knows that, and we don't use defensive players, one quarterback, that kind of thing. And I was doing so well, but it's just at this point I'm already done, and Like I think Evan's still chugging along strong, right?
Yeah, we have an interesting kind of playoff setup where it's 4 teams, so 1-on-1. There's 4 teams playing against each other. It's I'm making it sound way more complicated than it is, but it's over 2 weeks. So you play the same team for 2 weeks, and then whoever has the most points after the 2 weeks moves on to the next round. But I lost point wise to the person I'm playing against, so I think this week I'll have to beat who I'm playing against by like 40 points to win. So it'll be tough. It'll be a tough one for sure.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. I will try. We'll try.
Getting into some more personal things. Everyone knows that I have a very difficult time reading or doing anything in general. Evan knows I have this history of, like, for example, I'll go to play my PlayStation, I'll turn it on, wait for it to boot up, put the game in, game loads. As soon as the start screen comes up, I just turn the game off. Like, I have a hard time just being patient with the process. But, I'm starting to read a new book. It's You Can't Be Serious by Kal Penn, and I've always loved Kal Penn, and especially the Harold and Kumar series. But, something I wanted to talk about is that to this day, and if anyone's seen our second episode about the burger tier list, I'm still bummed that Evan kind of spoiled to me how bad White Castle is. Because
you might think it's the best burger you've ever had. I don't know. I'm just speaking from experience.
You see, the way they made it to be in those movies, it's like they eat like 50 at the end, and it looks so good, and there's that montage, and it's also that feeling of being rewarded for making it that far on the journey. But I'm bummed because you've told me that it's pretty much the same as the frozen White Castle burgers, or it's pretty much the same as Crystal. And if anybody remembers, Crystal is my least favorite burger place in the whole world.
Are they drunk in the movie? Are they high in the movie? I don't remember.
Well, yeah, it's a stoner comedy.
Right.
But
Yeah. So I can imagine, like, if you were in that state of mind, they would just be like amazing, like so good. But just a sober person trying to eat it, that's just not very good.
Right. I gotcha. Okay.
But that book is good though. You're enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I am enjoying the book. I was gonna say that the way the book starts out is that it's so funny because everyone knows Kal Penn is Indian, but the first line in the book is, "I was called the N-word when I was 6 years old," and he even has like an aside in that says, "This is a great way to start a book," like in parentheses. But that's the thing about humor. It's like anyone writing their memoir like that they gotta be able to pull you in the first 5 seconds. Obviously, me if I just turn things off, but I'm having a great time reading this book. If you guys got any book recommendations, feel free to send those in. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So far, I'm only like the first chapter in. I just got it like a few days ago, but enjoying it so far.
All right. And now something we haven't done in a while, but I feel like should probably be brought up again. Traffic. It's
it's probably the worst I've seen in a very long time.
The holidays are always so bad here. Like, I know it's bad everywhere, but it is so bad here.
Because I feel like people are starting to come here to shop now. Like, people will make the pilgrimage here just to shop, and it's ridiculous. And like, I just don't know where these people keep coming from. Like, it doesn't even seem like they're building new houses. It's just like, this might be the worst traffic I've seen in a very, very long time. I don't think it's ever been this bad before.
It's rough. Where did we go? We went shopping. We did like our Christmas shopping maybe a week ago at this point. It was raining. It was so bad. I don't know if you could tell. When we were at the movie theater, this was after we'd already gone shopping in the rain. We went out to dinner in the rain, and my shoes were just soaking wet at the movie theater. And I don't know if you could tell, my feet smelled so bad in there. Man. I was like sitting like in a way where you couldn't really, like, my feet were as far away from everybody else as possible because they just smelled so bad. I was like, it was bad.
Everyone, I think most people who know me at this point knows that I have a very, very terrible sense of smell. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if I like hit my head when I was a kid and I just don't have a good sense of smell. But no, I didn't notice. And the fact that you're telling me that now is very scary. But
well, it's good because the water that was sitting in my shoes for hours and hours, it took its toll. for sure.
Well, what were you wearing? Were you wearing Allbirds?
No, I was wearing the old Nike.
Oh, the free runs.
Yeah.
Free runs from like 2018.
Yeah, I think they're still sitting in somewhere in the garage somewhere.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
They're like all moldy now, probably. That's so gross. But
Probably.
I was wearing Doc Martens. I was trying to break them in.
Are those waterproof? Like, do they repel
No,
water?
because they're leather. But at the same time, at least if they're boots, they're gonna ride up a little bit. It's not like you're gonna be getting water in your socks for the most part.
Right.
But I would highly recommend a pair of nice rain boots, at least in the future.
That's true. I don't know if I could pull off Doc Martens. I feel like we were talking about this a while ago. There are certain outfits that they may look good on other people, but like for certain people, there's no way to fit it. It just won't work for a certain person.
You're starting to come up now. I think you've made some good decisions in the past few weeks.
I just can't envision myself in a pair of boots. Like, I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
Evan just bought himself a bomber jacket, and I'm pretty sure he's like so proud. What else did you buy? I know you bought some new shoes or something like that, right?
I bought some Vans.
Vans old school.
They're like the original
old school model.
Old school. I didn't realize how uncomfortable they were. They're like flat. I don't recall a time where I've ever owned like a pair of skater shoes. Back in the day, I used to have like the Nike, the ones with like
Nike skate shoes,
the puffy,
yeah.
but those don't really count.
Well, the thing is, you just bought the regular old school. Then they have the old school pros for $5 more, and those are like cushioned soles and
Really?
everything. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
You missed out, especially for just getting black. But all right, getting into the Quacking Pancakes question of the day. It's not written on the board this time because this is a little bit of a long question. If you guys remember our Benji episode, that was also a long question as well. This one's not as insightful, but if you could just have anything for Christmas, as long as it fits under the tree, what would you want and why? Have you thought about this, Evan?
I have thought about this for about the past 30 minutes. This has been a question. It's been in our Google Doc for a while now, but I haven't even thought about it until just today. And the best thing that I could think of what I would want for Christmas, anything, but it has to fit under the tree. This is gonna sound really funny. I would love like a metal detector, like the like the legit ones where you like wear the headphones and like beep in your ears. Yeah. I think that'd be so cool. Just like walk around, you'd be like.
So if people don't use those on the beach, where else do they use them?
Like in their yards.
Just in their yards, and they're trying to find like dinosaurs and stuff,
or in the woods. I don't know. I don't really know. I'd probably go to like a park or something, just like like a park where people throw footballs and frisbees and stuff.
You can't excavate the park or anything. The land, the ground there.
You go at night. You just do a little digging and then put it right back on.
You heard it here first. Evan destroys national parks and that kind of stuff.
National, local, international, intergalactic.
Intergalactic parks.
No way. Did we just said that at like the same time? Or did you say that because I said it?
Well, because I was anticipating the fact that you were going, international, intergalactic. But, yeah.
What would you... Anything, but it has to fit under the tree. What would you get?
Oh, so I'm... This is so weird because in my personal branding, I'm trying to move away from just being musician because people always call me musician. I've always been in a part of like a couple different groups and stuff, and I'm trying to shed that, and move into other projects like all this content creation and whatnot. But I would still really like a John Mayer Silver Sky guitar. I've always wanted those for the longest time. There would be periods I would just send Evan links, and I'd be like, this color, this color, this color, and he would be like, just don't get black, but because black is pretty standard for guitars, I think. But John Mayer's always been my favorite musical artist, and I love that he's still in with the times. Evan sent, because I don't have TikTok, but Evan still sends me his TikToks like all the time.
John Mayer has a great TikTok. He's funny. Like, he's actually funny. He doesn't just try to be funny. He's actually funny. He's really nice to all the fans. Like, they call it stitching if you don't use TikTok. He'll stitch other people's vids and just like sing along to what they're doing. It's good. It's good.
Gordon Ramsay also does stitching, but he's not nice to any of the people. He's like,
oh, I have seen those. What the fuck are you doing, you fucking ding dong? Okay. Ooh, yeah, just making a peanut butter and jelly. All right.
And he's like, what is that? It's just like, and it really is just like someone's like microwaving like milk in a microwave or something.
But can you imagine if you were just like, you know what, I'm just going to make a TikTok myself making some mac and cheese, and then Gordon Ramsay stitches your video and you see that? I'd lose my mind.
Right. But yeah, John Mayer, his signature gear has always been super expensive. That's why I've never had the chance to get it. But even though I'm trying to move away from investing so much money into musical instruments, I think that's something I'd at least like to cover someday.
They're very nice looking guitars. I will 100% agree with that. So, going along with more questions, we have some fan questions, and the first one we have is: are you a bigger fan of Christmas ham or Christmas turkey?
I don't know if this applies to just Thanksgiving ham and Thanksgiving turkey as well, because I feel like they're kind of the same thing. I don't know. That's up for debate in its own. But
Which Christmas ham, or which ham has the pineapple on it? Is that the turkey one or the Christmas one?
The turkey one or the Christmas one?
What is
The Thanksgiving one or the Christmas?
Yeah.
I think that might be Christmas. That might be Christmas.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I would assume that turkey on Thanksgiving just comes with gravy. So that might be a Christmas thing with like the little, is it a cherry on top? It's like a slice of pineapple and a cherry?
Well, I have no idea what question I asked because apparently it wasn't worded right. I meant
you said what kind of ham on like comes with pineapple? Is that the turkey one or the Christmas one?
I meant to say what type of ham do you put the pineapple on? Is it the Christmas one or the Thanksgiving one?
It's the turkey one.
Okay, that makes sense. I got you.
No, now you got me all confused now.
Do you like ham or turkey? Which one do you like?
I usually don't like ham, but if it's like something you got to carve, I think I'm more of a ham fan because turkey just gets so dry after a few days, but ham is like, it's fattier. Usually people will glaze it and stuff, so it'd be like a brown sugar ham. Like you said, they add like pineapples and stuff to it and like whatever. I think I'm a bigger fan of Christmas ham. What about you?
Oh, I would agree 100%. I like deli meat turkey, can't stand deli meat ham. I love, the way you make up a ham, like a real ham. I love real ham. Not the biggest fan of real turkey.
Right.
It's kind of
it's super dry. Yeah, it just gets super dry after a few days, and then you're stuck with it as leftovers, and you're trying to eat like sandwiches made out of it. But yeah,
ham is the way to go for sure.
So we have this question coming for Evan. What kind of content can we expect from you in the future?
So I have been working on this quite a bit. Kory and I go back and forth on doing the editing for our podcast. Like I'll do one and then he'll do the other and so on and so forth. The software that I have been using for the video editing, I have done a lot of the like quote unquote animation stuff like on our TikToks and Instagram and stuff. And it is very limited into what you can do. So I just for the first time downloaded Adobe After Effects and have been playing around with that. That is really fun. It's so detailed and in-depth, so it's going to take a long time. But eventually I'd like to get to the point where, we can do sketches and stuff, but have like a lot of special effects more or less, like, not just the explosions in the background stuff, but like, like overlays on the screen, some text and it's kind of in detail, not just the standard, oh, I'm saying things. I'm going to have text over the screen. So once I get a little bit better at that, hopefully we can do some skits and stuff, but also just like some video game gameplay eventually. Right. Just got to get around to doing that. But yeah, that's what's in the pipeline for right now.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And one more question. Will there be content that features both of you more besides the podcast? I think we've discussed the possibility of gaming on the couch because we bought that couch just to not only be like a futon like when we're like working and it's just there in the background, but it's meant to serve as like a gaming couch. Not necessarily anything competitive or like live streaming, but more so just a chance to deliver channel updates while playing something fun and, talk similarly to the podcast, but on a lesser scale. I think the biggest thing I had in mind is that I plan on eventually getting like an SNES Classic, which for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's just a Super Nintendo that comes preloaded with like 20 games. But the thing about this is that I've heard you can jailbreak them and import libraries not only from that console, but from many games. So I think, not to say that that's different because, one of my favorite channels, Cinemassacre with the Angry Video Game Nerd, already does that. But like, it would be different from just seeing me and Evan play Call of Duty, Right. It'd be like us playing Super Mario Brothers or games we're normally not good at. So, because it's not widely as available. Also, we've also thought about getting a Switch or something because those seem to be more like, I don't want to say family friendly, but more welcoming games that anyone could just pick up whether they're a gamer or not, you know?
Quick disclaimer, the Quacking Pancakes podcast does not condone jailbreaking or downloading of any games in any sort of way. Just
yeah, it's a good thing we own the entire SNES library. Right?
Yes, I grew up in the 80s, early 90s, the early 90s, and have all those games in a closet somewhere.
Right, same.
But yeah, definitely like the whole couch gameplay kind of setup, I think would be ideal.
I agree. So transitioning into our main segment, this is mainly where we're just going to be talking about, storytelling, what we remember from our childhood, as well as, what we're looking forward to with this year in terms of traditions or what we might do on the podcast episode. So, the first topic we have on our agenda is just what is the first Christmas that you remember? You have anything in particular, Evan?
I have to dig way back into the vault for this one. The first Christmas that I can remember, I was 3, 4, 5, something like that. Probably a little bit older, 4, 5, 6, and it was at our grandparents' house, and it was like the entire family came together. I say entire, but like grandparents, aunt, uncle, and then my parents. This is before my sister was born, and I don't know, it's really cool because it was like a lot of the traditions kind of started coming together, and looking back on it, it was like, oh yeah, we did that way back then too, which is still stuff that we do now. Like we would have someone would hold the garbage bag and they'd be like, hey, shoot the garbage, and you'd take your wrapping paper, crumple it up, and go, ooh, and you'd like, for 3 Kobe, yeah. But and then like, I don't know, there was just a bunch of, I just remember running up the stairs, coming, oh, did Santa come? Oh, he ate the cookies. Whoa, Santa ate the cookies. No way. But there was a present that I got. I remember specifically, it was like this train set where you had this little electric train that would go on these puzzle tracks where you could arrange the puzzle in a certain way, and the train would follow the tracks, however you would arrange the tracks. But it was, I don't know, that's the first one that I can remember. I'm sure there are other ones before that I don't know. That's the first one I can remember, and those were in the Wisconsin days. Wisconsin days. What about you?
Yeah, the first Christmas I can remember, I was probably very similar to you in age. I was either 4 or 5, but the reason why I can remember the dating of this at least is because I've already touched on this in the review I just gave, but I absolutely loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films, and I'm assuming he's your favorite Spider-Man too. But there was something so magical about that, and obviously when you're a kid and you get to see that come out in theaters and you get to have it on home media, it was amazing, and it changed my life. In addition to that, this was also this time period I think they had the Spider-Man animated series, and I played with the X-Men animated series, and they had all these toys at Walmart, which Tom Holland's Spider-Man has, I'm sure, his own toy line now, but there were tons of action figures. And do you remember anything called KB Toys, I think it was called?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it was like a dedicated toy store on a smaller scale, and I'm pretty sure they got bought out by Toys R Us probably, but rip Toys R Us now. But yeah, the reason why I remember this particular Christmas is because I'm very much the same that I am now, where I was very shy at everything, but I was also very curious, and it was kind of touching something hot and then realizing it's too hot and then just never doing it again. But I remember one Christmas, it was super late, at least for a toddler anyways, and I crawled down the stairs, and I was trying to be sneaky, and I looked at all these presents, and I found one of them with my name on it, and just something about it, the shape didn't give it away. There was just something about this one I knew was special. I opened it up.
You opened the present.
And this was at least a couple of weeks before Christmas, so I definitely felt super bad about it. But I didn't feel bad when I opened it up because it was a Fisher-Price toy where Spider-Man was dressed as a construction worker. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever seen. He was fully masked and in costume.
So he was in his Spider-Man costume.
Spider-Man costume while wearing construction worker clothes. He had a tool belt. He was wearing super heavy boots and everything, and then on top of that, it wasn't just the action figure. It was a set. He came with a loader truck that you could dump and scoop dirt with.
So was the set part of other presents, or was it just one big present with a bunch of the set
I
stuff?
think it was just this present that was its own individual set. I can't remember anything else I got, but I remember I got that and it was like so funny. Like, and I loved it. And when I was doing my Spider-Man review episode where I talked about it, like I was like, wow, I wonder if I could find it on the internet. And it was so hard to find. And there's only one guy I could find on eBay who has it. And he just has not the truck, just the figure for $30. And I'm like, like that seems like kind of a little too much for what I would want to pay for that, but also like that's something you can never buy again.
Where else could you say that you own a construction Toby? A construction.
Well, we don't know if it's a construction Toby. If it was a construction Toby, I think it'd be worth a lot more, in my opinion.
That's true.
Like, yeah, who knows? I might bite the bullet on that one, but
hey, maybe this actually reminds me your little mischievous story reminds me of another Christmas story. And this was a little bit after the Christmas I remember. I was at that age where you start to, and kids, if you're watching, close your ears. This is where I started to learn that Santa was not in fact real. Like I had the premonition, but I didn't have the evidence. I could if I stood on trial, I couldn't convict anybody because I didn't have the evidence. But there was one day I had all the evidence I needed. I was downstairs in my basement, kind of bumming around, not really doing anything. We got like our family computer. And this was a couple weeks after Christmas. I don't know. I was sitting at the computer and there's like the desk everywhere. There's like paperwork everywhere. And out of the corner of my eye, I look down and I see something. And what is this? What do I see? I see a receipt. A receipt. Okay, interesting. This is a receipt for Target, Best Buy. I don't know. What does the receipt say? It says Rock Band. And I go, hang on. Wait 1 second. Santa gave me a Rock Band for Christmas. What does this mean? And I tell you what, that was all the proof I needed that Santa was not real. And so, you know what I did? Instead of confronting my parents, I just wrote in crayon on the back of the receipt. I said, Santa's not real. Prove this, just whatever. And that was, the rest is history.
The moral of the story is just don't be mischievous. You ruin everything for yourself,
Parents, hide your receipts, please, for the sake of the kids.
But the next topic that we have here though is just what is our favorite Christmas movies? Should I go first?
You want to go first? Yeah, you go first. Go first.
Okay, so I don't know. Like I have so many different Christmas specials I like with cartoons and stuff. There's the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There's Charlie Brown. I think the Frosty, the Rudolph. You could go many different ways with just cartoons in general. Movies, when I was a kid, I tried to be super edgy, and I was like, my favorite movie is like Batman Returns because it takes place like on Christmas, and it's the same as like I guess people say Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but in recent years, for many different reasons, mainly because I love Step Brothers. Step Brothers is a huge part of my childhood. I had to go with Elf because I think the early 2000s is where Will Ferrell started to come into his own, especially with SNL, and to see him be so funny and so sometimes controversial as a performer, not necessarily anything with his personal life, but, people are like, we've never seen humor like this before. I like to think of it as like Adam Sandler on steroids. Him in Elf is so child-friendly, it's family-friendly. You watch it and it's like he's playing someone completely different, and I've talked about this a few times before that Will Ferrell has some range as an actor. He could be serious when he wants to, and Elf I wouldn't say is serious, but like seeing him behave as a child but not necessarily an angry child the same way that he behaves in his other movies, it's something very wholesome about that, and something very wholesome about how Will Ferrell's like 6'3", and he's trying to play an elf and he still behaves like an elf, and then I think he settles at the end at the North Pole. Loved that movie. Lots of good memories. And then I remember that I was telling somebody the other day, I was asking them for Christmas movie suggestions because I think I watched Elf on like December 8th last year, and then I didn't have it to watch on Christmas. So right. I haven't watched it this year yet. I'm probably going to save that for Christmas Day because, again, not that I have anything against these films, but I was stuck watching the Charlie Brown Christmas Special and like Rudolph and Frosty and all that stuff.
I saw Elf in theaters, like when it came out, and we got about halfway through the movie, and a popcorn machine caught on fire in the theater, and so we all had to evacuate for, 15, 30 minutes, and then once that was figured out, we went in and saw the rest of the movie. So it was a good time. Great time.
Sounds like a great time.
Oh, yeah. For me, my favorite Christmas movie, this is a movie I probably saw earlier in my childhood than I probably should have. It was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's so good. It's so funny. Chevy Chase, whatever you think about him now, I guess he's not the greatest person in the world. But that movie is so funny to me. There's a lot of good like quotes and kind of memorable bits that have carried on in my family and friends and stuff, and it's timeless. Like it's a movie. I think it came out in the 80s, and even today it like still holds up. But my question to you is, would you say that your favorite Christmas movie is, would you say that's also the best Christmas movie? Like, would you say Elf is the best? No, nothing better than Elf, the Christmas movie.
No, I wouldn't, because when I think of best Christmas movies, I know there's a lot I haven't seen, but they usually have a moral to the story, and I think that kind of goes with like, the idea of what Christmas is all about. And that's very cliche of me, but like I don't think Elf shows that. I think a lot of the older Christmas movies that would be on for 24 hours, maybe not necessarily like a Christmas Story, but like one of those kind of things, I feel like has a lot more deeper meaning. I'll tell you what's not my favorite Christmas movie though, and I had this on VHS and I watched it religiously, so I think I've come to the point where I can say this. But Evan knows I love Arnold Schwarzenegger for many different reasons. I love Terminator, I love all that stuff. I have come to realize Jingle All the Way is not a great movie. I think it's one of those things like you love as a kid, and then you just watch it later on, and it's like so cringy to you because it's like, I think it's the it's definitely the early, the like mid 90s, because I think his son is the same kid who plays like Anakin Skywalker in Episode 1, but like, just I don't think it's a movie that's aged well.
I love that movie. Even today, I still love that movie. You're my number one customer. I love it so much. It's so good. Sinbad, great performance, best performance, probably his magnum opus. But I get it. I mean, there's some movies like National Lampoon's where it's like you could watch it today and it's like, oh yeah, it's a great movie. Jingle All the Way, you can tell it's like a 90s movie. It
hasn't held up.
It hasn't really aged well. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, great guy, not his best movie. I will agree with you on that. But yeah, I guess for me it's the nostalgia aspect of it. I probably haven't watched it in a couple of years, so maybe if I went back on it, I'd be like, ooh, well, okay, some bad, right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoy it. For me, when I was thinking about this, the best Christmas movie versus my favorite, I would say Home Alone is better, but I don't know if it's a better Christmas movie. Because, I don't know, it's, sure, they leave them home alone, but it's like, yeah, during Christmas, but it's not about Christmas. It's just takes place during Christmas. So I'm gonna stick with my National Lampoon's best and favorite Christmas movie.
Gotcha. So what about Christmas traditions? Does your family do anything in particular?
Yeah. Well, we do the movies. We kind of talked about. We watch Elf, Home Alone, National Lampoon's. But we also, cooking is probably our biggest kind of tradition that we do. We used to make lefse all the time, which is like a...
What's lefse?
Have we never talked about lefse?
No.
Lefse? Lefse is like, it's a Scandinavian... I don't like calling it like a tortilla, but it's like a potato tortilla.
I remember these now, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like naan, right?
Kind of. It's like thinner,
Okay.
I think just a little bit.
So it's like a crepe.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of a crepe.
It's a Scandinavian crepe.
In that kind of terms, yes, but it doesn't really taste like a tortilla. It's like its own kind of thing. It's super floury, and it's a process to make it. Like, it takes a long time to make it. My grandma used to make it all the time. Every time we go over to her house, it's like, oh, we gotta have lefse with all of our meals. But yeah, we make that almost every year, and then sugar cookies. I'm not the biggest sugar cookie fan.
Sugar cookies and then like the frosting on top too, like shapes and stuff?
Yes, but I never get that far. I just go for the dough. Like, if the dough is made, I could eat the dough all day. Could care less about the...
Oh yeah, because don't you hate sugar cookies?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of sugar cookies. But the dough is great. I love the dough. It's fantastic. Absolutely amazing.
Store-bought sugar cookies in the comment section, yes or no? Evan, this has always been a debate between Evan and our friends. Like, Evan does not like those, and I'm guessing, just from the way it sounds, he doesn't like homemade sugar cookies fully baked anyways, right?
They're better. There's something about they look so perfect. Like they look like they would taste so good. They're just perfect. They've got the frosting on top, which is like the symmetrical. It looks good. It's too rich, too much for me. I can't do it.
I used to buy like a whole bunch of I'm sure he remembers when we lived
Oh,
together, and even I'm pretty sure with Benji too, like Benji, Drew, like no matter who we lived with, I'm pretty sure we always had like a box that I would keep in the apartment. But so yeah, Christmas traditions.
That's pretty much it for me. Other than we used to do the Elf on the Shelf thing.
That's something I was actually gonna ask you about, because that is you're the first person I've ever seen do that. And when I first saw that, and it's like this little creepy little like monkey looking elf like on like the shelf, literally, like I was like, what the is
it's I didn't have it growing up. Like it wasn't something that my parents did for me when I grew up.
Just your sister.
It was something where I was old enough to like, I was the one that could hide it. It was fun for me to like do the thing where you go around and you pour flour all over your kitchen, and then have like the elf make it look like he was the one that put the flour all over the place. But yeah, that was interesting for sure when we got that. It's like, I don't know.
Dude, I mean, I get it, but like I would have hated to see that as a kid, because I think we grew up in like kind of like the Chucky era, like in like I couldn't have handled that as a kid. I would have been like, that's messed up.
I think it's just another way to hold kids responsible. It's like, our elf, ours was named Steve. And it's like, Steve is watching you. You better not do anything bad or he will tell Santa. He was like the direct line to Santa.
How that works?
That's exactly how it works, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess looking at it from a kid's perspective, you either look at it as Chucky or you look at it as like Toy Story. But like, I don't know. Either way, I think, I would have like freaked out if I saw like just flour everywhere and like Steve the elf is like causing mayhem. But
did you ever use claws.com? Like, did you ever go claws.com where you can like put in your name, like, oh, Evan, and then it would be like, make up like this fake answer, be like, Evan has bad marks on this. He doesn't do the dishes and he never makes his bed.
That sounds like one of those like those Facebook games. I don't know if you've seen them, where like people share stuff and it's like, what does your name mean? And it makes up like a whole bunch of malarkey, but like,
and like we type in my dad's and it's like, Pete also has not done the dishes or make his bed. It's like, wait a minute. But yeah, you have any traditions?
Not really any traditions, I'd say, in terms of like, oh, we did Elf on the Shelf, or we cook something in particular. I would say even my family didn't really cook for Christmas. Like sometimes we would. I think my grandmother would. She'd make like a turkey or something. Sometimes we'd go eat at like Golden Corral just because it's open, or like Waffle. I think I tried Waffle House one time on Christmas. My biggest tradition I would think about, I used to always go to my grandparents' house in North Carolina, and it was snowing, and I'm sure whenever you go to your grandparents' house, like it was snowing, and like Georgia does not get snow. Like I was just talking to someone at work today about this, about how like they're like, do you get snow there? And I'm like, I wouldn't even really say it's snow. It's more like just like ice on the ground. It's like enough to make your grass look frosted, but it's not like snowball fight. And like in North Carolina, it'd be like snow blizzard every once in a while, and I loved it.
We've definitely had our 70-degree Christmases down here for sure, which is a weird feeling.
Oh, it's been so hot lately though. It's been like, I think last year was like an 80-degree Christmas.
We're still hitting, yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of Christmas. And then like you try to wear like, however you want to dress for Christmas dinner, you go outside and like you're drenched in like sweat. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's as much as I'd say is for Christmas traditions. I'm gonna piggyback off this again. Like I remember one Christmas at my grandparents' house. It's when the first generation PSP 1001, I think the model was called, and I got it for Christmas. And you know what game I got with it? Spider-Man 2.
All leads back to Spider-Man.
It always leads back to Spider-Man. But like I'm pretty sure I still have the game here somewhere. Like that was like my thing. And this is another aside. For anyone who's played the Spider-Man PS4 game, it's like it's supposed to be based off the comics, and like he has a new voice actor, new like facial likeness. It's not like it's Tom Holland or anything. The Spider-Man games, did you ever play those on PlayStation?
I think I played. It was like, I don't know if it was like the original. It was one of my friends had the Xbox, like the original Xbox, and we played that one, and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
My thing about that though is that and this is something you don't really see nowadays, I think you'll see it in like Death Stranding with Norman Reedus. You know, he has his face likeness in there. But in terms of movies that were made into video games, they don't really do that anymore. But Tobey Maguire's likeness was in there. Tobey Maguire voiced the entire game. It was like you did feel like you were playing an extension of the movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example, and I just can't think of anything where the actor is still in the video game. Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
no, it was great. But yeah, I remember I got that at my grandparents' house, and I played it the whole way home because it was like a 5-hour drive after that. It was the last present I unwrapped, and very, very much worth it. So yes, Christmas and Spider-Man are very much interlocked for me.
Oh, the PSP was something I wanted so bad. A lot of my friends had the PSP, and
It was significantly way ahead of its time, I think.
I will say I'm glad I never got the PS Vita, because I never really asked for the PSP, but when the PS Vita was a thing, like with the flip up screen, I was like, "Oh, that's the coolest thing ever." But looking back on it now, I heard it was just like the worst thing ever.
I knew one kid. I don't know. We should name drop.
I think I know who you're talking about.
We only knew one kid in like middle school or high school, whatever it was, that had it, and like it was cool because he had it, but no one else had it. It's like, why would you want that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the original PSP, fit in the hand perfectly. It had like a little like similar to the Wii, you know, the little strap. It was way ahead of its time. Like the games came on like the little discs, you know. It was, man, that was game changing. And for my birthday a couple years ago, you modified mine in some ways to where I can play a lot of different games now that I own, of course, in my closet somewhere.
I magically transferred my game library to your PSP.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did.
Love the PSP. I'm gonna have to do some. This is such a bad habit of mine. I need to stop going on eBay and finding things for cheap, like MacBooks, just to say I have them. But
I came in here when we first started recording. And I was like, "Kory, do you have 4 MacBooks?" He's like, "I know one of them's my sister's."
This is my new MacBook Air, and like I'm loving it so far because it's going to replace the 2016 MacBook, which is a completely different story of how I got that computer, and the stories and the history I've had with it. But like, I'm loving this so far. And if you are like thinking of what to get someone for Christmas, and you want to go all out on this one person,
spend $800 on
yes, this was $800 for a MacBook that like has no fan, doesn't get hot. I have like 20 tabs open for Chrome. It's amazing. But yes, I don't have 4 MacBooks. I'm in the process of getting rid of all of them. But in terms of eBay, I would definitely look for some PSPs if I could. Cause
imagine if the 2010 MacBooks actually worked, then you have 5. Yeah,
we would both have MacBooks right now. We would be like sponsored by Apple at this point. They would have just sent us new MacBooks. We wouldn't have to bought this, but you know, it's a learning experience. I shipped those back, got the money back, and you know, we're here where we are now, and I think that's what matters.
That is what matters. All right.
All right.
I've been waiting for this so long. I've been like tapping the glass. I've been ready.
You got this eggnog.
It is time to try eggnog. And while we do this, we have, I wouldn't really call it a game, but we're part of Christmas is listening to Christmas music.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm setting this up, are you on the side of you can't listen to Christmas music before Thanksgiving, or are you kind of listening, you know, during that time, just like?
You know, it's funny you ask that. I'm not against listening to Christmas as it comes up because people do the same thing with Halloween. They're like, oh, it's October. That means, or it's like the end of September. It's time to get into the fall spirit. It's time to celebrate Halloween, which I think Halloween for many people is their second favorite holiday after Christmas, or it's interchangeable. In terms of, you know, listening to it early, I would say I'd probably listen to it after Thanksgiving. I do remember, now that you bring that up, though, there was a game show. Can't even remember what it was, but you know, the host will usually ask a contestant, what is something interesting about yourself? This contestant answered, they were like,
was it Howie Mando?
I don't think so. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. I can't remember. Lots of game shows over the years that have come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But this person said they listen to Christmas music all year round. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like,
Nope.
Because it's a festive thing. Like, as good as some Christmas music can be, because Christmas music is commercialized to the point where it sounds like pop music now, you know? But, like, how can you listen to something that sounds like winter if, let's say, you do live in a state that has seasons, which ours kind of has seasons. We don't have a real winter, but
it's just fall. It's just fall for a long time.
Fall for a long time. But, yeah, that I don't know. Do you listen to music before Thanksgiving?
I try not to. It's kind of unavoidable at sometimes, but I'll try my best to save it. Even like in the beginning of December, I'll kind of just like wait, and then it's like the 2 weeks before Christmas. And I was like, okay, I have to listen to all this Christmas music because December 26th, you ain't listening to Christmas music. I mean,
Right.
it's just there's no point anymore. But yeah, so what we're doing is we have a little tier list, and we have 16, 17, 18 songs, and we're going to put them where we think they belong on a tier list. So
What are these rankings, S to F?
Yeah, so we have S, A, B, C, D, and F, with S being our favorites, classic, all-time favorites, F being, you listen to it one time and then you're done. You couldn't care less. It sucks. All right, so I think, do you want to cheers it?
Let me say something about this real quick. Is that we neither of us have ever had this before, and
First
just
time.
pouring it, like, this is a lot thicker than I thought it'd be.
It's thick.
You know what it reminded me of though? This looks like what you would use to make French toast.
Yeah, that's true. It's like kind of a battery kind of texture, consistency. This is non-alcoholic too, so it's like there's no benefit here. We're not. This is just pure.
Who knows? We might love it.
Yeah, it could be great, but
Right,
we'll see. It smells fine. It smells sweet. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
That's
like that a lot.
not bad at all. That is actually not bad at all.
I really like that.
Wow. I thought it was gonna be more eggy.
I don't know what I thought it would taste like. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. I will say, I think whoever obviously processed this, like, there's a lot that went into this. I don't think we could just make this at home and yeah.
I don't know. It's got like a Christmas cookie kind of flavor to it. It's
very cinnamony.
Yeah. It's
I
good.
like this a lot.
I've always heard eggnog sucks. Oh, I hate eggnog. Why would you drink eggnog? It's actually pretty good. I like that.
And this is just Publix brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Publix makes the best generic brand. Maybe besides Target. Who knows?
That was Publix hot chocolate too. Okay, so for our first song we have here, we have 12 Days of Christmas. 12 Days of Christmas. We're not going to play the songs because copyright issues, yada, yada, yada.
You guys know most of these by now anyways, so.
12 Days of Christmas. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't really care for this song.
I don't care for the song either.
Would you say it's an F tier? Like, you can't stand it?
I would say I can't stand it mainly because there's nothing more to it. It's the same melody over and over again,
I'll be fine with F tier. I could listen to this maybe one time, but I could not listen to this multiple times. You good with F, or you think D maybe for the?
I wouldn't want to listen to it, but I could see the fun of participating in it. I would say F tier because after singing it once, you're not gonna want to ever do it again.
It's done. You're done. Okay, so 12 Days of Christmas, F tier. We're coming out strong with this next one here. We have Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
This eggnog is getting to you.
Yeah, it's All I Want for Christmas. Mariah Carey,
there's this joke that, after Thanksgiving, they're like, Mariah Carey has come out of hibernation. And that's kind of what it is because, like, as soon as you hear it in the store, you're like, ugh. But, I will say this is one of those songs where, like, as soon as I hear the first few notes of the intro, I'm, like, not in the mood. But if they could just skip past the slow part and get into that.
So you don't like the roll? Yeah, you don't like that part?
Well, I mean, it's great. But, I mean, like, hearing that over and over again and you're just, like, trying to get to the point.
So you're saying, all I want for Christmas.
Yes.
That part.
So,
I like this. I really like this song.
I agree, yes.
But I do agree the intro kind of it can be slow. What do you think? A tier, B tier?
I'm going to say A tier because it is a great song. But, like, the thing that keeps it from being on repeat just by itself, listening value, you don't want to sit through the intro over and over again. You want to just jump straight into it.
Right. I could listen to this song multiple times during the holiday season.
I would say it's a song every time you play Christmas music, like on a playlist, like if you're getting in your car. You'll listen to it over and over again.
It has to be in there.
You don't skip it, but
so A tier is good. We got A tier. All right, next up we have "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," Brenda Lee. I think this is a classic. It's so good. It's in Home Alone. I love the song.
I'm gonna say S tier.
S tier.
I think so. It's. I have this thing that I don't like listening to music with like a lot of harsh high end to it. Nothing that's super like, it can get tiring to the ears. It's very easy to listen to, but it's still upbeat in tempo and whatnot.
She has a very unique voice too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have Dean Martin's. I can't even read that from here. Oh, Baby, It's Cold Outside. Elf. You ever seen Elf? It's in that movie. They have the little back and forth going on. Baby, it's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of the song. Yeah.
I like the song, but not enough for it to be on the same tier as Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Are we thinking beat? Like, it's fine. It's not a bad song, but just in general,
Are we talking about this Dean Martin version in particular? Because if that's the case, I would say it's a C tier. If it's the Will Ferrell, Zooey Deschanel version,
that one is pretty good. But yeah, I would say the Dean Martin.
Not that it's really a version. It's just it's a scene. But
yeah, she's in the shower and he's just singing on the sink. It's great. But yeah, we're talking Dean Martin. We'll give it a C tier. All right, Frosty the Snowman. If you've seen any Frosty movies, you know the movie.
I don't know why I was thinking of like then one foggy Christmas Eve Santa came to say. That's Rudolph.
I think that's in there somewhere.
That's Rudolph.
Yeah, it's in here.
Yeah. Not a big fan of the Frosty.
It's song. A little too monotonous for me.
Yes.
If you're a kid, yeah, it's cool. I'd say D or F.
We put it on the same. I would put it above the 12 Days of Christmas.
I could listen to it once or twice. I cannot listen to 12 Days of Christmas more than one time.
No, yeah. 12 Days of Christmas, easily our least favorite song on here.
Yes.
If you disagree, leave a comment below and tell us why you think 12 Days of Christmas deserves, more respect.
For sure. Okay.
What we got next?
We have Michael Bublé's Holly Jolly Christmas. I love Michael Bublé so much. Love Michael Bublé. I think there are 2 Christmas songs on here. Both of them bangers. I could listen to them multiple times. It's a great song. I would put it up there with Mariah Carey, mostly because it's like in that genre where you're talking about, like it's just a pop song, kind of. It's good. It's
a pop take on a classic song.
So it's not like it gets old really quick.
Above or below Mariah Carey?
I would put it on the same. I don't know if I could put it above Mariah Carey. Maybe on the same level. Definitely not below.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, would we put it in front or after her?
I'll leave the final verdict to you. Would you put it above or on the same level?
I'm saying in front or behind Mariah Carey.
Oh, so you're trying to rate it even on these? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I like Michael Bublé's music.
I'm gonna say after
as a whole. So you say it's.
I'm gonna say Mariah Carey goes in front.
Okay, how do we want to do it? Is this in front or is this in front?
Mariah Carey goes in front.
Yeah, I know, but is this in front?
Yes.
Or is this in front?
No.
Okay, so it's like this.
Yes, left to right.
Okay, I got you. Okay, this was a personal request from you. We have Wham's Last Christmas.
It's my favorite song.
It's your favorite
biased,
song? Okay.
So.
I like it too. It's a great song. You say you will probably rate it S tier because it's your favorite. It's good, but it doesn't have the same like punch to it as like some of these other ones. So I would put it on the A tier for me.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me.
I can listen to that song infinitely. So.
Okay.
If we're gonna take an average between the both of us,
let's put it on the front of the A tier.
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Next, this was one of mine that I had to include on here. This is the Jackson 5. What is even? This is the name of the song. I can't even. I requested it. I'm trying to remember how
Santa Claus is coming.
Yeah. Santa Claus is coming. Yeah. Thank you. I like this one. It can get a little annoying. Just the
Rudy toot toot.
Yeah. I'd be fine with like a low A, high B tier.
I love young Michael. I loved old Michael. So, I love Michael. I think we gotta do some respect there because.
Let's put it at A.
Very storied career. Yes.
Put it right here.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Actually, yeah.
Unless you would beg to differ, I would prefer in front of Buble.
Let's do it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have Jingle Bell Rock.
But by who? Hall & Oates?
This old white guy right here. Let me do a super zoom right here. This is Bobby Hoy.
So hang on, because I guess you've already selected these, and we just put up Santa Claus is Coming to Town by the Jackson 5, Holly Jolly Christmas by Michael Bublé. We're doing it by these specific
artists. Yeah, it has to be these artists.
Yeah. I would say Hall & Oates version A tier. This one, probably not.
I'm assuming this is just like the one you think of when you hear it or when you see Jingle Bell Rock. It's fine.
It's fine. I would put it above.
Yeah, I'd put it above Baby It's Cold Outside. We'll give it a B tier.
Yes, because it's still rock music. You know, it's very catchy, easy to follow along with.
Yeah, for sure. So now we have I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I am not familiar with the song. Maybe if I heard it, but I don't know.
Are we assuming you've never heard the song? It's little Michael Jackson saying, "I did see Mommy. I saw it happen." You know?
I think I've heard that, but this has a picture of Dylan and Cole Sprouse on the album cover. I don't know.
It might be on the sound. I think we should assume it's the Jackson 5 version.
Okay. I don't know. I'm indifferent on this one. What's your opinion?
I'm gonna put it below Jingle Bell Rock.
Okay, so
because I think at this point we have to compare it to
like C tier or low B tier.
Low B tier.
Low B tier. Okay.
Yes, I would put it below Jingle Bell Rock.
Okay. Now we have our second Michael Bublé song. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I like this one, but it's slower.
It's very slow.
I wouldn't put it on the same as the A. I'd say probably B tier for me. Good song, but
I would put it after, let's assume, Michael Jackson, I Saw Mommy Kissing.
So this one right here. Okay, yeah, that's
Bublé is losing a little bit.
Just a little bit. Now we have the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
This is the classic. This is as classic as it gets.
This is as classic as it gets.
I would probably put this below Frosty, or maybe. You know, that's the debate then. Do we put it above or below Frosty? On the same tier anyways.
I would put it above Frosty just because as a kid, I don't know how it was for you. We would always add like the little
like
sayings.
A light bulb.
Yeah, like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Then one foggy Christmas Santa came to say, ho, ho, ho. It's just like a... Yeah,
there's more interaction.
Yeah, there's more to it. Let's put it above Frosty.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But at the same time, it's like it's a kid's song.
It is a kid's song. Very repetitive.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have another Santa Claus is Coming to Town, not the Jackson 5 version. This, I'm assuming, is the kids one. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, I put it on the same tier as Frosty and...
Yeah, definitely not the same as Baby It's Cold Outside.
No. In between, before...
No, I would put it... Oh, okay. I would put it... above Frosty.
Above Frosty. Yes. Yeah, the Frosty one is rough. It is pretty rough.
It's just good enough to not be bad, I think.
Okay. This is... I don't have the artist on hand. This is Silver Bells. This is the next one. Silver Bells. It's kind of slow.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's F tier.
It's an F tier. This one doesn't make the playlists often, for me anyways.
I think it has a little more meaning than... 12 Days of Christmas might have some hidden meanings there, but it's very repetitive.
Too slow. It's too slow for me. I'm gonna put sorry. That's
last
an F tier.
Last. Okay. All right. That's what I'm saying. It definitely goes in F tier.
It goes in F tier. I wouldn't say it's last.
12 Days of Christmas is that
12
bad?
12 Days of Christmas suck.
It does. Okay.
You're listening
I'm just
to the
thinking
same
about it right
song
now.
like 12 times.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. Yes, definitely can't do 12 Days of Christmas.
There's another one. Kory's suggestion. We have Justin Bieber's Mistletoe. I'm not too familiar with this one.
I have a guilty pleasure of admitting I do like this song.
Okay.
It's very unique. You know, it's not like it's based on anything. At least, no, it's definitely not based on anything. I mean, it's not really fair for me to rate it because you don't have a lot of experience with this song.
That's why I'll let you choose where to put it because I have no reference.
Would put this above Michael Bublé Holly Jolly Christmas, below Jackson 5.
So right up in here.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Getting to the end here, we have White Christmas. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So this is another slow one for me, but
I would put this as a C.
It's still good. Like it's slow, but it's a classic. Like this is one of the most classic Christmas songs that's like not like a kid's, like Rudolph or Frosty the Snowman. I would probably put this above Dean Martin's Holly Jolly, or Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yes.
It's a good song. It's not my first one. I don't go to it immediately, but if it comes on, I'm like, all right, I got you.
All right.
Bing Crosby's I Wish You a Merry Christmas. Is this different than We Wish You a Merry Christmas? I feel bad because then the Bing Crosby's like huge, but I don't know if this is different.
No, at that point, I don't really know either. Should we assume it's the same? We might get a lot of thumbs downs on that one.
Ooh, Bing Crosby, I Wish You a Merry Christmas. Let's stick it in.
Just to be safe.
Just
to be safe.
You know what? We'll even stick it above the.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good bad song. Okay. Your favorite Christmas song is Wham's Last Christmas. My favorite Christmas song is Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time. It's so different. It's just the most different Christmas song.
It's very wah-wah, you know.
It's very different. I'm partial to the top, but I need your opinion to refine the position.
I would put it above Mariah Carey. Personally, I couldn't put it above Wham.
Fair enough. But I will take an A tier.
You know, we left a few off here. I'm sure someone could comment. You know, we didn't really touch on the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. You know, there might be something else we're forgetting.
There's this one Elvis song, and I don't know the
Blue
name
Christmas?
of it. I think it's Blue Christmas. And then the girls in the back are like,
yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
That's a
I like
pretty
that
good one. Where would you put that?
A
tier?
I put it A tier.
A tier.
Just because it's funny. I love it every time it comes
This
on.
one is an S tier for me, and I feel like you might have to jog your memory a bit for this one, or maybe not. The NSYNC Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday song.
Happy Holiday. That's a good song. That's the one, right?
No. It's Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, that one's good. That one probably
S tier. It's got to be S tier. It's got to be the best Christmas song consensus between us.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's again
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And Happy Holiday.
Yes, it's like Justin Bieber's. Like it's unique. It's modern. But it doesn't get old. It's ageless.
I completely
timeless.
forgot about that song, but it is so good.
It's S tier.
It's S tier.
It's S tier.
We do have one more song though that we have to address, and that is The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. It's the most wonderful time. I would put this on the same level as White Christmas, but not as good.
Really?
I
would put this B tier.
You put a B tier?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's another
because it can be upbeat. Yes.
It's another classic. Okay, we'll put it. Let's say the end of B tier.
I'm having a couple more come to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, Feliz Navidad. Great song. I love the part with I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. That's a great part. Love that part. Probably A tier. I'd probably put that A tier.
A tier. I would put that. Where at though? Visually.
Probably below Mariah, maybe.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay, yeah.
Anything else coming to your mind? We're gonna forget all of this and be like, oh, why didn't we put this on there?
Yeah, there are a lot of good ones that we forgot. Like Kory said, comment if you have anything. But that's what our tier list looks like. We have Rocking Around the Christmas Tree at the top. Great, classic, never gets old.
NSYNC isn't on
but
there.
yes, if we had NSYNC, we would put NSYNC at the very, very top because it's so good. So good.
So for the final part of this episode, we thought we'd exchange gifts that obviously we don't know what we got each other, but we originally had this idea of like buying gag gifts, but I think, both of us at least try to do something that we thought would be useful for the other person. At least I tried to. Okay, well, should I go first? You should go. I mean, I only got you one thing. I feel bad I only got you one thing.
No, I got you a lot of little things. I would say go for this one first, this little one here.
Okay, well, here's this little one. It says, "To Gopher from Badger." That's a it's a really long story. We can explain some other time, but there is meaning behind those names. Okay, oh gosh, I feel like Is it a surprise in its own, just opening it from rappers, or should my eyes be closed while I'm on it?
No, it's okay. Fine. You will never guess what it is. It's stupid.
Shocking results. Hot potato. Hot potato. What? I'm confused. Is it a real potato in the box? I would. Shock tato. Are you? I'm trying to assume what this is here. Is it like you're assuming to play hot potato with someone and you throw it at them and it shocks them?
So it's just like how you'd play hot potato, but it shocks you at random times. Like you don't know when it'll shock you, so you like throw it back and forth with people,
We
like
should
a
play
big group.
this with our friends. That could be really fun, actually.
I think there are different modes.
Different game modes. Extreme. The silence is freaky, so that must be okay. All right. There's one mode. I'm guessing this is the easiest mode. It says lame for the weak of heart, where music's gonna be playing the whole time. I'm guessing. Normal is kind of like musical chairs. I'm assuming it's
so it'll keep playing, and when the music stops, it'll shock
that's when
you.
you get shocked. And then extreme is just like
No music.
no music. You're just shocked
You're
randomly.
just throwing it around. And
We would only need to play extreme, I would think.
I
Wow.
think there's a good enough, like, there are a lot of little metal parts on it. I think there's pretty good shock area. I have no idea how strong the shock is. I've never played with it before. So,
Well, if someone uses a device like a pacemaker, or if they have epilepsy or heart conditions, they can seriously be hurt by this. So
okay. So I got
that's
Kory a
kinda
weapon.
scary.
Yep, I got him a weapon.
Okay, all right. Well,
You can also open that one, and then we can do like
okay.
open the other ones.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay.
This one. Well, I'll just let you open it.
Okay.
I'm hoping you didn't. Okay, I'm not even gonna say anything.
It feels like it's not a book. Because Evan knows I can't read.
No books. No books here. We don't like books here. We don't stand books.
Oh, what is this? I opened it on the other side.
Well, you're not even gonna know what it is without opening it. Well, you're
Oh.
not. You're not gonna know what it is either way.
Okay.
I think you'd have to like open it.
So I'm opening a present to open another present.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's actually just an endless amount of presents. There is no present in there.
I'm mildly afraid of what could be in here.
The adventure is more exciting than the destination.
It's an unmarked white box. Okay. Okay, friends, what do we think is in here?
I don't know.
This is a toy? Look at that. I opened it the wrong side, too. All right.
I don't know. What could it be?
What is this? Oh, he got me a capture card.
What?
Whoa, so we could finally start recording games on here now.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be exciting. You'll have to obviously show me how this works, because I'm not going to know. But wow, this is great. This had to be super expensive.
I don't know.
Ooh.
But we've had the PlayStations in here forever, and just no way to really record it. It's mostly just playing it on our own.
It'll be Red Dead time soon.
Red Dead time.
All right, I got you something that I wanted to be extremely practical. We touched on it earlier in the subject of Christmas, of, new things are coming. I wanted to get you something that I felt would be extremely helpful to you as you engage this next year of your life.
I'm really scared. I'm not gonna say what I think it is, but I'm a little scared. I'm gonna open it and kind of talk my way through it. Am I good to open it now?
You're good to open it.
Okay. I'm a little scared that I feel like I know what it is. Okay, maybe I don't. Oh boy, this gives me bad memories from high school.
No,
So,
not those.
Okay,
Not
that's
those.
good.
We'll have to,
I see
to show a photo of those.
Oh, okay, this is not what I think it is. Okay, this is awesome. So it's a box of shoes. It's Clark shoes, which I had a pair of high school, or a pair of shoes.
You didn't have what you would typically associate Clarks with.
These shoes were
He had
ugly.
old
These
man
were
shoes.
old man shoes, like retirement home. But instead, these are boots, which Kory has a pair of his. And
I've had the same pair for like 7 years now.
these are a cool pair of shoes. I like these. Like the type of shoe. This is awesome. I did not expect it. I had a couple of things in mind. I was like,
what did you think it was? Because I've been telling you for a while. I'm like, send me your shoe size in like 4 different brands.
So at first, because we've been talking about this forever, I was like, did he get me? I wonder if he got me a pair of Converse, because we always talk about Converse. I was like, I don't really know.
Converse are timeless. I don't think Converse would be good for you trying to reinvent your style.
Yeah, I don't know about Converse. And then when we were talking about when we were just talking like earlier in the segment, we were talking about Doc Martens, and I was like, oh no, I just talked shit on Doc Martens. Like I couldn't wear them. I was like, I really hope I didn't just talk about how I couldn't wear Doc Martens. But no, these are awesome. These are great. I just have to find a way to use this, because with my sense of fashion, I'd be like, oh, it goes well with a pair of jeans.
I would say dark jeans or like khakis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, That's the biggest thing is I don't know how to do the whole style thing. Like I don't use Pinterest, so I don't know like
Pinterest.
what do people do. That's how people get their style thing,
okay.
right? But no, this is awesome. I'll definitely have to find ways because I have like 3 pairs of shoes. Like I don't
never had a pair of shoes like these before.
never had a pair of boots
now
like
you
this.
definitely cannot wear your Allbirds to the office.
That is true. I will have to be desert booted up.
Desert booted up.
That's for sure. So thank you for
There's
that.
a big boy over here.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, this.
Not entirely sure how to open this.
I did not think this was going to be here.
Is there a ribbon on the other side?
Yeah, there's a ribbon on the other side. You can just kind of like grab it. I didn't think that this was going to be here in time for this episode. I'm so glad.
I have no idea what this could be.
I'm so glad it showed up.
Did you tie this yourself?
No, I did
I
not.
think so, yeah. Okay, let's figure this. If I can even get this undone, this is a nice little bow right here.
I can grab a pair of scissors too if you need it.
No, I think I got it. I just haven't. Okay, here we go. Ribbon's coming off now. Knot is undone. But of course, there's a second knot under here. All right, here we go. We're
I'm
getting
excited.
a bunch of these knots undone. Would you say this is the main event?
Yes.
The capture card wasn't it?
It's hard to say. I don't
This
know.
is the biggest one for sure.
I just don't know.
Okay.
Oh man, I am so glad this came on time. Really glad you can open this on the podcast.
Oh man, what could this be? What could this be that I'm like almost knocking down everything? Is that another box in a wrapping?
I don't know.
It looks that way. Oh man, I can't even see you right now. Like you might be like twirling your fingers and this might explode in my face.
It's a great gift, I promise. I don't know if you're going to be able to see.
Let me go ahead
it
and
when you
back
open
up
it.
a little bit. All right, I'm gonna be destroying the integrity of the podcast angle right now. But okay, go ahead and pass me those scissors, kind sir, if you can. Oh man, what in the world is this? I don't like that laugh. That laugh sounds a little mischievous.
It's I don't know. We'll see.
This box is too big. It's probably for something significantly smaller underneath. I am gonna knock something over. Just trying to open this. What in the world is in here? What is this?
There's more wrapping. What could it be?
Is this wrapping?
It's not really red. It's just like
This box. Did you tape this box
I
up yourself?
retaped the box so it wouldn't come apart. Yes. It wasn't very well taped together the first time.
This box, man. This is like frustration-free packaging, or free frustration packaging.
It is frustration-full packaging. Yeah.
Still trying to figure this out. Hashtag Kory Hoang can't open a box. Alright, what is this?
You want to make sure not to bend what's inside.
Okay, well,
Keep it as unbent as possible.
this.
All right.
So much more stuff to unwrap.
Here we go.
This is it.
Here we go.
What is this?
Here we go. Make sure you show the camera while you're unwrapping it.
What in the world is this?
What could it be? What could it possibly
this?
be? What is going on
in the
here?
world is
You're
this?
just gonna have to undo it. Oh! Whoa!
Oh! Wow.
Wow. He said it. He said it. Everybody that I was talking to beforehand was like, if he opens it and it doesn't say, wow. Well, he opens it and he did it. He did it.
The best present in the world.
We have a life-size cardboard cutout of Owen Wilson.
That's crazy.
Not very utilitarian, but it's a good decoration
It's
piece.
definitely life size. I feel like I am holding Owen Wilson in my hands, but well, this has definitely been a very eventful Christmas, I'd say.
Yes, thank you for the gift. It's amazing. But we just hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Whatever you celebrate.
Everybody's most important thing is being safe, having fun, and thank you guys so much for helping us through this year. Your support has been amazing, and
We got one more episode left.
One more episode of the year. Yep.
but, thank you again. We really do appreciate it, but we'll hopefully see you one more time before the end of the year. We definitely will.
All right, guys.
All right, see ya.
Peace out.
All right, that's the one. That's it.